folks. So there's going to be a lag from what they see, but the live is going to be clicking over here in just a sec, and I'll tell you when we're live. And then what I'll do is share my screen and tee up that slideshow. So what you'll see is the slideshow.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds pretty cool and hizzy.
We are live.
I wonder who the other representatives are going to be.
Welcome, welcome, Vernon MYP students. Thanks for joining us today. I am going to be sharing my screen so that we can share our presentation with you all. We have a little slideshow assembly, a Kahoot, some poems, a little thing for Miss Anna. We've got Miss Bryan's jazz students doing a performance. We're excited to have you today. So now this is a little different than how we'd normally do it in person. So we appreciate your patience as we get this rolling. I hope you're all doing well. And here it comes. All right, so Vernon, Black History Month Assembly. So we were wanting to get together and make sure that we paid proper tribute to what's a very important thing. And Black history, and I think a lot of people have said this and we completely agree, which is something that doesn't just happen in February, but there is a focus on that. And we're gonna share a little bit about why that is. We're gonna have some of our Vernon Affinity Group students helping facilitate a Kahoot. We're gonna have some Vernon students sharing some poems. And like I said, we're gonna have a few little performance pieces. So we're gonna start with something that many of you have heard before. And I know that in the past, we've had some people actually come and sing for us. Lift Every Voice and Sing was written by James Weldon Johnson. And he was an American author, educator, lawyer, diplomat, songwriter, and civil rights activist. We're gonna listen to a little bit of the song and learn a little bit more about this.
facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory.
There are forces that want to take us back to another place. We don't want to go back. We want to go forward.
Sorry about that little technical difficulty, folks. I know that there was a little audio issue. Hopefully we've got that all fixed. So that's Lift Every Voice and Sing, belted out by Alicia Keys. And a little bit they were talking about was just the formation of that and how it became basically what they ended up calling by some as the Black National Anthem. So powerful song, came from a poem. The next piece we wanted to talk about is just a little bit about Black History Month and how it came to be. A lot of people don't know that Carter G. Woodson is some that many coin as the father of Black history, and there's a reason behind that. So we're just going to check out a little piece that shares a little bit about how this came to pass and how it went from being a short celebration to something that we now celebrate for a whole month.
A man known in history for recognizing Black history? Stay tuned for more as we share fun facts about the life of Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. Carter G. Woodson is known in history as an author, publisher, and historian, born December 19, 1875 in Virginia. Carter's mother and father were former slaves, where he was the oldest of 9 children. During that time, Carter did not have access to school like many children do today, so most of his education was self-taught. Woodson also attended Berea College in Kentucky until being kicked out due to the school not allowing African-American students. He would later return when African Americans were allowed to earn his bachelor's degree in 1903. Looking back at the life of Carter G. Woodson, in school he enjoyed education and was very smart. In fact, he was so smart that he became the second African American in history to graduate from Harvard University. As an author, Carter G. Woodson wrote over a dozen books, including the book Miseducation of the Negro, which is still required reading for some schools in this country today. Woodson was also involved in other projects, including establishing the scholarly publication Journal of Negro History in 1916 and the Negro History Bulletin in 1937, which helped teachers with African American studies. Wanting African American history to be a part of education throughout the nation, Carter began to travel. In February of 1926, Woodson began going from school to school and other organizations, offering them a special program that encouraged others to study Black history with Negro History Week. For example, if you are wondering why he chose February, Woodson wanted this time of education to be honored by the birth months of Frederick Douglass and President Abraham Lincoln. The week would go from a week to a month, which is now commonly known as Black History Month. Woodson would spend his life focusing on education and would even become the dean at Howard University and the West Virginia Collegiate Institute. The life of Carter G. Woodson came to an end at the age of 74 on April 3rd, 1950 in Washington, D.C. That is all with a mini biography from the life of Carter G. Woodson.
So a little bit about how he got that name, the father of Black history. Next, we've got a little artist profile. Miss Anna has been doing some different things with art. One of them has been doing portraiture studies with the middle school students. This was something that she wanted to share with you all a little bit that she was doing on Jimi Hendrix and what our first and second graders did in trying to share some of their own art using his style.
Many of us may know about the musician Jimi Hendrix, but did you know that he was an artist before he started playing music? Jimi Hendrix was born and raised in Seattle and loved to draw. He was mostly raised by his father and always longed to spend more time with his mother. His school teachers noticed his artistic talent and later shared that he had no interest in music. He would often be seen drawing automobiles and football players in action. Jimmy was always influenced by sound, and he would listen to music and play his broomstick guitar while cleaning his room. His first real stringed instrument was an old ukulele that had only one string. But with an open mind, he experimented with all the sounds that his simple instrument could offer. He wanted to create new worlds with the color of sound. It wasn't until he attached his guitar to an amplifier that he realized he could make his guitar laugh, cry, scream, and sing, and that he could actually paint with sound. Eventually, he played for large audiences across the world and often wore fantastically colorful shirts during his performances, just like some of his paintings. While you might imagine Jimmy carrying around a guitar with him backstage, he actually carried sketch pads and watercolor pens with him and was often seen drawing his vivid images. When he was younger, he sometimes did representational work that showed things like mountainscapes. But later on in life, he started creating intricate designs that didn't necessarily represent anything specific. This is called abstract art. He did a lot of abstract paintings that displayed amazing patterns, shapes, and colors. Some of the images appear to have begun as small doodles, which he developed into intricate and highly involved images. Those familiar with his method of painting say Hendrix worked with 5 or 6 watercolor pens held between the fingers of his right hand while he drew quickly and energetically with the left. Take a look at these fantastic abstract works of art inspired by Jimi Hendrix, the artist, by our kindergarten, first, and second grade artists.
Waterfall, nothing can harm me at all. My worries seem so big and small, but my waterfall, I can see my rainbow calling me through the sea of my waterfall.
Many of us may know about the musician Jimi Hendrix, but did you?
And the next piece we're going to be doing, so our Vernon Affinity group has put together a Black History Month Kahoot. So each one of our MYP classes is going to have a rep that the teacher has chosen. And when I click on and open the Kahoot, we're going to have some students helping read the questions. And then you as a class are going to be able to share what you think is the answer. And then your rep will put that in there. This is new for us. We haven't done it in a live stream. So if it's a little clunky, we can all learn together and just see how it works out. Little technical difficulty, folks. Hold on 1 second, we'll get it worked out. And actually, Kendall or Jalen or one of you all, if you want, well, if I don't log in though, they won't see it. You guys could share your screen if one of you guys wants to. It's not picking me up on this. And we'll just play as guest. Sorry about that. And we're almost ready to go. So there's our pin number. So each rep, make sure you put in that pin. And once we have our classes in, then we can go ahead and start our game. Looks like we've got 3 up. Can we get everybody else logged in? There we go. We've got Costa, Massey, Miss J, Mr. Massey, 7th grade. One of them. All right, there's 8 groups. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start. If everybody's ready. This holiday is a week-long celebration created in 1965 as a way to bring African Americans together as a community. Kendall, Jalen, Amelia, if anybody wants to read the next one, feel free. Looks like we've got 2 answers thus far. This holiday is a week-long celebration created in 1965 as a way to bring African Americans together as a community. Up to 4 answers.
I can read the next question.
Looks like Kwanzaa was. Okay, here goes the next one.
What actress voiced by Huey Freeman in the TV show Boondocks?
TV for 2 weeks to see if I suffered any adverse health effects. I started physical at the
Is there a way we can fix that exhaust around the time? Because that cut off before people could put answers in.
Oh yeah, the delay is making it so people answer like 20 minutes after the question is put up.
Yeah, the first one worked just fine. Do you know how I can change that while we're in game? Is there a way to change it?
No, you would have to exit the Kahoot and then redo the settings.
It's weird because the first one was a minute long. Maybe we could do maybe we could do that, and then I could do the jazz piece, and then we could come back to this, because otherwise nobody's going to be able to answer the things.
Yeah.
All right. Folks, I think what we're going to try and do, because we had a little mix up with the settings, is we'll adjust those. So we're going to move on to the next piece and share a little jazz performance piece. And then while we're doing that, we'll fix the Kahoot settings, and then we'll just bump that to the end. And it sounds like we may, so what we may have to do is just have teachers keep track of the answers. And what I can do is figure out if we can pause or just read the questions, because the person who can fix it isn't on with us necessarily. So we'll try and revisit that and come back to it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, folks. We'll come back to it. So the next piece that we've got for you is a little bit about jazz. And I just want people to know that jazz is truly an American art form. And it started way back, and this is a really great diagram that kind of shows the tracings of jazz and all the different forms of jazz over time, starting with American spirituals way back in the 18th century. And then that kind of turned into blues, ragtime, some other different pieces, and then stemmed into something specifically created out of New Orleans, which is when they started using the term jazz. And so this is truly an American form of music, and one that is a tremendous contribution by African Americans that started as early as the late 1800s. What we have for this, for you today, is something called Bag's Groove by a famous jazz musician named Milt Jackson. Milt went by Bag, and that's how this was called, Bag's Groove. This was his song. He played something that, I don't know, these look familiar and you all might recognize this, but that instrument's called a vibraphone. So he was pretty famous for playing it. And we have a quintet of Vernon students that is gonna regale us with Bag's Groove. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. We'll try and get that Kahoot fixed up, and we'll be right back with you. Awesome job, and thanks to all our soloists for doing that. It's really hard. I know that Miss Bryan worked hard to put that together. Not being able to have the band all in the same space makes doing something like that really tricky. So we appreciate the treat in the performance jazz band. I think we have a new and improved Kahoot link, and we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot so we can give you all a chance to see which class comes out on top. All right, here's the new pin coming at you. Let's see if we can get all of our folks logged in. The new pin's up there, 1 rep per class, and we'll get this going. Appreciate your patience, MYP students. Let's see if we can get our teams all logged on. All right, there we go, Miss Costa. 6 A's up there. Looks like we're getting everybody in now, 8 CP. As soon as we get all 8 of our classes in, we will jump into the game. That's 5, looking for a few more. 6. All right, one more, perfect. All right, we're gonna get that game rolling. Feel free, Exase, you guys, if you wanna read questions, go for it. Question number 1, this holiday is a week-long celebration created in 1965 as a way to bring African Americans together as a community. Up to 6 answers, looking for a few more. All right, next question. And I'm gonna jump back for a quick second, folks, to try and get this Kahoot code for a class that didn't get in. So.
I decided I would watch nothing but Black people on TV for 2 weeks to see if I suffered any adverse health effects. I started by getting a full physical at the health.
So it looks like, Mr. Perry, it did not. Well, folks, we'll just read the questions and share the answers because it looks like that media, we tried to adjust it, but that it hasn't adjusted those questions. So we'll just go through them. I get that people don't have time to answer. So I'm going to try and read them really quickly to see if we can give you a chance. What actor played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42? Will Smith, Chadwick Boseman, Jamie Foxx, or Michael B. Jordan? What actor played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42? Will Smith, Chadwick Boseman, Jamie Foxx, or Michael B. Jordan? And the answer was Chadwick Boseman. No worries if you couldn't get in there. It's not your fault. We know that it's a little shorter with that lag. We apologize. And our next question, who is the person that invented the plastic bags that are used to store and transport blood? Robert Fleming Jr., Madam C.J. Walker, Philip B. Downing, or Charles Drew? Charles Drew. And question 5. Which activist rapper wrote the poem "The Rose That Grew from Concrete"? Is that Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, Tupac, or Chance the Rapper? Which activist rapper wrote the poem "The Rose That Grew from Concrete"? Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, Tupac, or Chance the Rapper? And that was Tupac. Looks like we had a couple of, well, one person got that right. Or team. Which artist was named Apple Music's 2020 Breakthrough Artist of the Year? DaBaby, Megan Thee Stallion, Polo G, or Doja Cat? Which artist was named Apple Music's 2020 Breakthrough Artist of the Year? The picture possibly is a hint? I don't know. Megan Thee Stallion is the right answer. Looks like Costas Cruz in the lead with the Speedy Sphinx 30 catching up. Question 7, which of these people is considered a famous activist? Which of these people is considered a famous activist? Angela Davis, Malcolm Bridges, Gordon Ramsay, or Mr. Perry? And Angela Davis was the correct answer. Looks like HCP history is coming on strong, and Costas Cruz still has a slight lead. Speedy Sphinx 30 and Massey's Masters hanging on. Question number 8, who founded the Black Panther Party? Is that Kendall Clay, Isaac Newton, Patrick Mahomes, or Huey P. Newton? And the answer was Huey P. Newton. Although, Kendall, you got a lot of props there for being an activist.
Thank you. Respect.
I know, right? Let's see who's in the lead. Acosta's crew with HCP history still in second place. Question number 9. You want to read it, Kendall?
In 2008, Usain Bolt set the 200-meter dash world record for the time of 9 seconds and 19.3 seconds. In 2009, he beat his own record with a time of 19 seconds, 19.15, 19.19, 19.27 seconds.
And the right answer was 1919. That was tricky. Unless you really follow track, it would be hard to know that one. All right, let's see. The order is still the same. And question 10. Jalen, you want to read this one?
Yeah, I can read this one.
Go for it.
The athlete has 8 number 1 world rankings, a career record of 851 to 147, 73 career titles, and 4 gold medals.
Thank you very much, Jalen. And the answer is Serena Williams. All right, there's been a change. Costas Cruz still in the lead, Massey's Masters in second, HCP history in third. Final question. Amelia, you want to read this one? Or Kendall?
I got it.
All right.
This term was created in 1973, ministered in 1996, and literally translated to black speech, jive, slang, ebonics, or pidgin.
Thanks, Jim. And the correct answer was Ebonics. Let's see who our winners are. The podium in third place, HCP History. Well done, well done. In second, Massey's Masters. And in first, Miss Costa's class, 3,515. Well done, folks. Thank you for participating in our Black History Month Kahoot. So we also have a poem that Jalen is going to share with us. Jalen, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. This poem was written by Udell. He read it when he was in sixth. He wrote it when he was in sixth grade. I'm black, but also I'm funny. I'm humble. I'm creative. I'm wise beyond my years. But everyone just notices the black, always forced to think about. Black is intimidating. Black means you always gotta be a gangbanger or a drug dealer. People cross to the other side of the sidewalk when they see me coming. I'm black, but also I'm joyful. I'm confident. I'm intelligent. But everyone just notices the black. My black does not mean I have to be a troublemaker or a rapper or even a basketball player. I'm black, but that alone doesn't describe me. I'm black, but I'm also energetic. I'm friendly. I'm athletic. I'm a student just learning to live in a world that doesn't love black people as much as I love myself as myself. And yes, I can swim.
Thank you, Jalen. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Jayasha, is Jayasha on with us? Or I wanted to give her a chance, but didn't know she was in. Let's see. So one last thing, I think Jayasha is not on. We just wanted to say, and Jalen put this little piece together that, you know, he read Udell's poem and we definitely miss Udell and Mr. Evans. And so we wanted to just do a little tribute in loving memory of Vernon student Udell Peterson and Vernon teacher, Mr. Morgan Evans. Thank you all for coming to our Black History Month live stream. And we hope you all have a great day. And just to give folks a heads up, we'll be sharing some plans around some ways that we are going to honor both Udell and Mr. Evans. It's kind of hard because we've all been in distance learning, and we definitely recognize that there are some things we want to do to honor both of them. So just a heads up on that. Have a great day, all. Thanks, Owls. Thank you, middle schoolers, for putting together the Kahoot. Kendall, you want to say anything to folks? Jalen, Amelia, anybody on there, feel free to let them know anything you want to share.
Thank you for participating. I hope you guys can all do your own personal research into the Black history and try to reach more into Black history, even when it's not Black History Month. And be ready to have those uncomfortable conversations with your family members, calling your friends out, and as well acknowledging your own privilege if you are a non-Black person.
Yeah, and thank you for your patience with this whole thing. This is kind of new to all of us, so thank you.
Take care, Owls. Have a great day.